Hi everyone, and welcome to my next video tutorial, which is going to be focused on creating and utilizing user groups in IAM on AWS. So first of all, you want to make sure that you're logged into the AWS Management Console. Then you can go ahead and search for IAM. Then you can go ahead and click on IAM, and that will redirect you to the IAM dashboard. The next thing that you want to do is you want to go here on the left hand side. If this info panel is not open, you can just click in this space here. That's going to open it for you. Then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and click on users. Okay, so what you want to do first of all is make sure that you have some users already defined here. So as you can see, I have 4 users and I have 3 users here that aren't part of a group. Okay, so these users are independent from any group. Now, the benefit of creating a user group in IAM is that you can attach multiple users to a group and you don't need to assign individual permission policies to each user. You can just assign that permission policy once to a group, and all of those users that are part of that group will inherit those permission policies. So what we can do after we have some users, so make sure you have some users here set. If you haven't, you can go ahead and say create user. So I'll show you an example of how to do that as a tip. You can just go and say create user. And I'm just going to give that user a name here, and I'm going to call this person, let's say Nick. I'm going to give them user access to the AWS Management Console. They're going to be an IAM user. I'm going to auto-generate a password, and users must create a new password at next signed in recommended. I'm going to leave it on the default. Say next. And as you can see here, we can add the user to a group, and we can also copy permissions, and we can also attach policies directly to that user. Okay, and this isn't a good practice to do it this way. Okay, it's best to add a user to the group, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So I'm just going to leave it on attach policies, and I'm not going to attach any policies. Then I'm going to scroll down, say next. Okay, and I'm going to scroll down and say create user. The user's been created. Great. I'm going to now return to my users list and just say continue. Okay, so as you can see now, I now have 5 users and I have 4 of them here, and none of these 4 here in particular are part of a group. So I'm now going to go and click on user groups and attach them to a group. Then I want to go and say create group. And when you create a group, typically you want to take a look at your users and see if there is a commonality or similarity between your users, such as 3 of them you might see are developers, or 5 of them you may see are part of admin, or 3 of them are part of marketing, or 4 of them are part of auditing and regulation. So you want to do that evaluation. So that's where the grouping part comes into place. So in my case, I'm going to assume that I have 4 users that are all part of my auditing team. So under user group name, I'm going to say audit team as an example. Then I want to scroll down and I want to add the users that are part of the auditing team. So I'm going to say, let's say John, Kate, Linus, and Nick. And you can see they're not part of any groups, but I'm going to add these users to my audit team group. Then under attach permission policies, I want to look for CloudTrail. Okay, and I'm going to give these users access to CloudTrail, full access. I'm going to check that box there. I'm going to click X and clear this. Then I'm going to look for Alexa for business full access. I'm going to check that. So you can see I've now attached 2 permission policies. Now these permission policies are going to be directly assigned to this group. So if in the future we have new users coming in, we can attach them to this group without having to attach that permission policy directly to that user. So whoever is in this audit team group is going to attach the permission policies automatically and inherit it as they join the group. Okay, so once you've set your permission policies, you can scroll down and say create group. That's going to create the group for you, and you can see the audit team user group was created. We can see audit team has got 4 users, and we have defined our permissions and we just created it. So now in further detail, if we were to click on audit team, we can now see some information in terms of the group name, the creation time, and the users in this group. So all of these users here, John, Kate, Linus, and Nick, are going to inherit the following permissions that we stipulated, which is AWS Cloud Tray Full Access and Alexa for Business Full Access. Alright, so that is how we can go on ahead and utilize user groups and evaluate the benefits of user groups, because if you were to create an independent user, as you can see, you can attach these permission policies directly to the user, but it's best practice to rather create a user group, attach your specified users to that group, and then let them inherit the permissions that are set to that particular user group. Alright, so that's it for this video tutorial on creating and utilizing user groups in IAM.